Hey guys, so in our last video we did see how do we create our first TestNG class, and we also learned about various annotations like this before suite, before class, before test, our test cases, the sequences in which they run, and all of this, right? But then we had few questions like this: before test, before class, before suite. We saw all of these running just before the entire class. So how does they make the difference, right? And we also had another question in which we saw that after suite wasn't running, right? So we'll get the questions of all those answers in this particular video. I would highly encourage you guys, before watching this video, please have a look to our last video. I'll be providing the link of that in the description. You can also see that through the channel and the cards above. So please have a look so that for a better understanding. Okay, so we'll quickly get started. Now let me create a TestNG.XML file, guys. Now what is this TestNG.XML? It helps you to suite run. What is suite run? If you want to run multiple classes together as a suite, okay, so say like I have one class right now, okay, now consider I may have multiple classes similarly, right? So if I want to run all those things together, I can go with a suite. Okay, so I'll just create a simple testng.xml file. So for that, just go to testng and say convert to testng. Okay, it gives you everything. Say finish, and you see your file generated here. Okay, click on it. Okay, so you see your simple testng.xml file here, right? Okay, now it brings your class name here, right? Let's run it. I'll tell you all of these differences right now. Okay, so it's running. Okay, so I saw my test cases getting passed. Let's go to console and see. Okay, so before suite, let me show you here and let me bring it down. Okay, so before suite is the first thing that runs, right? You see here before suite, and after suite is the last thing that runs, right? Now when I say before suite and after suite, it is actually this suite tag. Okay, so before suite and after suite is going to run before and after this particular suite. Okay, so before suite, before starting of the suite tag, after ending of the suite tag. Okay, after that we have this test tag, right? So you see this before test running, right? So after suite, my before test run, as you see in the XML also, after suite there's a test, right? So the sequence of our TestNG annotations is just in the sequence of this XML file actually. Okay, so after suite we have this test. So after suite you would be seeing the test running, and here also we have after test, right? Similarly, after test comes the classes. So you'll see the class running after that, and here also you'll see after class, right? And then obviously, as we know, before and after each method there is before and after methods, right? Therefore, as we see here in the XML, we have the same sequence like suite, test, classes, class. Okay, when I say class, it means finally my test case. Okay guys, so this sequence matches the sequence of your TestNG annotations that you would see it in execution right here. Okay, now let's understand one more thing. Okay, so what I'm doing is, say I have another class. Okay, so I'll just copy paste it instead of writing a lot. Okay, let me open it and consider I do not have this before suite after suite here maybe. Okay, and I have all these methods even here. Okay, so I'll just append 2 here so that we see that, okay, this is the methods from my second test case, or sorry, my second class. Okay, okay, and let's also change the name of test cases. Okay, so let us say validate title. I'm just putting it randomly, guys. Okay, so you say you have multiple classes with your test cases. So obviously you'll be having the different set of test cases. Okay, you might have these annotations here, you might not, howsoever. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's say that I have my 2 classes to run here. Okay, so I'm running both my classes together using my TestNG.XML file. Okay, let's see how it runs. So let's first, see that, okay, what could be expected. So before suite should run first. Okay, after that, before test annotation runs before this thing. Okay, so I have before test here and I have before test here also. Okay, so both the before test functions would run before here. Okay, let's run it. Perfect. Okay, so all my 4 methods ran. Okay, so the first TestNG class, both the methods, the second TestNG class, and then both the methods, right? Okay, let me expand this a bit. Okay, so my before suite ran first, right? And after suite at the end only once. Okay, before test annotations run before this test tag. Okay, so before test of both have run before this particular test tag. Okay, after that comes my classes. So my this class had to run. So before starting the execution of this class, my before class method had run. Okay, then before method test case, after method, before method test case, after method, right? And then my after class, like this class execution completed, so my after class got executed. Okay, after that the execution of this class need to start. Therefore the before class of my second class got executed. Again, before method test case, after method, before method, test case, after method, and then the after class of my second class, right? And then after test of both, like as this test tag completes, after test of both my classes gets executed, followed by after suite. Okay, one last thing. Say I do not want my both these classes to run under one test case. Like both these classes are entirely different and they do not signify one single test case. So what I can do in this case is I can create multiple test cases. Okay, so one my test cases represents this class and my second test cases represent this particular class. Okay, in this case what would happen? Okay guys, in this cases make sure that your test tags have different names. Okay, otherwise this is going to give you an exception. Okay, so in this case what would happen? Before suite, that is obvious, right? Before test of only this particular class, then before class, and then everything of this, and then before test of this class. After the execution of this entire test class, then the execution of this test class would start. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so as you see, before suite, like obvious, right? Only the before test got executed, before test of my this particular class, right? After that, the execution of this class need to start. Therefore, before class, method test case after, method test case after, then the after class, after test completes for this particular test case, right? And then the execution of this test case starts. this test case hold this particular class. Therefore, before class of that, before method, test case, after method, before test case, after method, and then the after class of this particular class, then the after test of this particular thing, and then your after suite. Okay, guys, so this is how the test execution of your TestNG annotations are maintained. Okay, so depending on the tags and the classes in which order you have mentioned it here, right here in the TestNG.XML, your cases do get executed in that particular pattern. Okay, okay, so one just a simple tip, guys. Okay, one thing, you see here thread count 5, right? See, we are working on a Selenium code, and like many people face this issue, and say you have put your two classes here. Okay, what would happen is, as your thread count is 5, your both of this class say I have said, I'll just redo. Okay, say I have my TestNG.XML in this particular way. Okay, I have my two classes, and both of these class launches my Chrome browser, right? My thread count at this moment is 5. So what would happen is, both of this would start working parallelly. Okay, because I've said that my this test case can work in a thread count of 5. It means it can work in 5 parallel count. Okay, so you would see your all these classes starting working parallelly. Okay, so in that case, if you do not want to work them parallelly, you want to go them sequentially, just put it as 1 and you should be good to go. Or else, on a safer side, you can even like remove it. That should not be a problem. Okay, that's all for this particular video, guys. Hope the concept of this TestNG annotation sequence is clear to us now, and do let me know for any questions that you would have in your mind, and stay with me for our next video, wherein we are going to learn a bit more about the priority and dependency of test cases amongst each other and how TestNG manages it. Okay, and do let me know for any questions. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.